When it comes to different outdoor power equipment like a string trimmer or an edger or a power head, I no longer recommend that you go outside of a tool line that you've invested in to pick up one of these tools. Simply because there's no reason in investing in a battery operated system that you won't use these batteries for somewhere else. Fact of the matter is, these batteries are not cheap, and if you're going to invest in something like this, you might as well have a use for this battery when you have to replace it, not just the string trimmer, because sometimes buying these string trimmers is less expensive to get a new one with a small battery than it is to go out and just buy the battery alone. So have some tools that use this guy. This is DEWALT's new FlexVolt 60 volt, right? Won't take the 20 volt batteries, but it is their attachment capable string trimmer. So you buy it as a string trimmer, but reality is this is what other companies call a power head. And then you can put a pole saw, an edger, a leaf blower, a lot of different attachments at the end, and it all comes together in the center with a good attachment system. We'll go over that. This string trimmer weighs in at 9.59 pounds, which is awesome for how it's constructed. There's no carbon fiber here, which I think is good. This is all steel, believe it or not, and it really works well. I want to come in, go over the trigger, go over how it works and everything about this. This is a 15 to 17 inch swath on the end of this thing. It is a monster. So let's come in, go over all the stuff you need to know. I got this guy in a kit, so it comes with the 9 amp hour FlexVolt, which is really a 3 amp hour 60 volt battery. We'll go over the runtime in a little bit, but this little guy really likes to chew up that battery. You have a typical DEWALT grip here, which I say that is a good thing. I really enjoy this. Good rubber overmold that's here, and then you have a safety that's up top. This little flipper guy is what stops you from going down, and it is on a spring. If you absolutely hate that this is there, just take a small punch that out, and this little guy will come right out of there, and you'll just have to hold this safety down, and then you have your trigger. You do have a high and a low, very easy to operate, sitting right there, and an adjustable forward handle. The FlexVolt battery slides in the back, easy, and I like the fact that your fuel gauge is sitting up top, so we can easily push that button, see what's happening, and everything is at our fingertips. If we look at the bottom of the string trimmer, we do have some rubber overmold on its feet, so it can sit down on the ground without scratching anything up or sitting down without sounding like it's a plastic hunk of junk. Everything up front really rocks. I enjoy that. I want to go over this trigger, so let's get a little different view. So what I need you to do is listen here for different things, because we're going to go over, I'm going to show you how this trigger functions in my mind. To me, on low you have 4650 RPMs max. On high you're going to end up with 5800 RPMs max, which is low, but you have to picture 17 inch swath, so your line speed out at the end is actually quite fast, so that allows this thing to cut really well. But as far as the trigger goes, if we just floor it, comes up to speed fairly quickly. If we want to blip the trigger, I can kind of get it to, it's a typical brushless thing. So I'm just going to slowly go up the trigger, and it's a variable speed trigger, but I want you to listen for the steps, because it has very specific steps, and you can watch my finger here, and there's different areas where it will just step up in RPM, so it's not exactly variable. So it's just got like a stepped up trigger, not like a perfectly variable one. Is that a big deal? Absolutely not. Can I go around and blip it like a gas model like I would normally? Take a listen. It gets confused with some of that. That's not a big deal. It's just not the perfect gas trigger like you'd be used to. And I'm not saying anything bad about the trigger. It's just a typical string trimmer that's got a battery operated trigger. It's not perfect like some other ones. And let's be real, none of these are absolutely perfect. We can unscrew this end, push our little button in, and this slides out easily. This is a universal attachment, but everybody's gonna ask, will it take any other attachment? No, it's probably only gonna take the DEWALT stuff. That's what they kind of made it for. Although some other ones might look similar, I highly doubt it. We can try that, but I have nothing in the shop that will fit it at this point. Like I said, this is all metal. This is metal. This guy's metal all the way down, actually steel. I really like the fact that we have steel here. It might flex a little bit more than normal, but I have confidence that I could fix it if it ever bent, especially in this area, or I know it's gonna hold up and not chip. So that's good for me. As far as the string trimmer goes, you have two different swaths down here. You can move this cutter back for 17-inch. It's kind of covered in grass, but you can see you could move it forward for a 15-inch. This is a speed load head. It is also bump feed, so you can simply push down here. Like any other speed load head, you're just gonna line these white lines up. And you can put 20 feet of 0.080 line in, slightly less of the 0.095 line, and then you're just going to spin it and it's going to automatically feed everything in. At this point in time, I've actually enjoyed using this 0.080 line. It was not very wet. I did soak it in water overnight, and that helps it become less brittle. But as you can see here, the ends are not frayed, and I've been working up against a fence and against buildings, so that's pretty good. As far as guards go, this is a big guard. It is a 17-inch swath. Some people are not going to like the size of the guard. In fact, I might be one of them if I want to get in and around things, but because of the 17-inch swath, I have a lot of string out here, and this is actually about in the 15-inch area. I could come out one more and easily, I'm just hitting the point now where I would start to maybe get close to cutting the line. So we have a lot of area you can get in and around and cut, and get through, and this guard's nice. It keeps things away from you. I'm more of a minimalist when it comes to that, but at the same point, it works well. So when I first read the specs on this, I said, 0 to 5,800 RPMs, how's this really gonna rip when I get it into grass? And then I was super surprised when I extended this out to the 17-inch swath, how this just took some tall grass and just threw it. So the RPMs, while I feel like they're low, especially when you want to compare this to gas, which is 9 to 11,000, but when you look at other battery operated models, they're going to be in that 6,000 range, maybe 6,600 as a high. Some of them are creeping up a little more, but that's where this stuff goes. And the reality is, this thing does a great job. In fact, it does better than a lot of some of the higher voltage or same voltage, larger battery, outdoor power equipment stuff that I've had, because it will actually cut that grass instead of wrapping it around the head, and it throws it away. So this thing performed flawlessly, and I'll tell you, I was super impressed. Now, always the issue that comes with a smaller battery that is 60 volts, and again 3 amp hour, is runtime. In this heavy grass around the shop, I was able to get maybe like 9 minutes. And I might be giving you a little bit of a push there. I mean, 9 minutes is about all I got out of this 9 amp hour battery, 20 volt, 3 amp hour, 60 volt. So that's light. Now, when I worked at it at home and I was just normal string trimming, I could push that out to 22 minutes, and that includes me walking. So there's still a lower runtime there, mostly because I'm going at the 17-inch swath. I didn't leave it at 15, although if you were at home, 15 is going to be perfectly fine. I just feel like this guy's got the power and everything I need to come out to the shop and use it around the farm area. So if you have a larger country lot and you're in the farm or you want to do something like that and you need this for larger weeds, just get another battery. Or again, invest in this if you're in the DEWALT line and you have other batteries, and you're gonna absolutely love it. Because it's gonna give you the power, you're just gonna have to have another battery close by if you're gonna do anything for a longer period of time. I don't think that's horrible. In the past, it'd be like, well, I can't get 40 minutes of string trimming done on one, but we weren't dealing with a small battery. We were dealing with a large brick that, you know, plugged into these. So, and they were comparing them to gas. So I think we have gas power here. We just don't have the gas runtime. I think that's kind of our tipping point of what can you make run really powerful out of a small battery like this. Now, guys, we all know you can, you know, put a 12 amp hour battery in here and you're gonna get more runtime. So if you have that battery, by far do it. And the good news is running this hard and pushing does not thermally impact this battery at all. It is just, I mean, it's 60 degrees out, basically, maybe a little less. I can put my hand on it and I can just tell that it's slightly warmer than the air that's around it. So we might be at 80 degrees. We're by no means close to thermally cutting anything out. You can plug it in, it'll charge right back up. I think that's good with this, and if this was actually 20 volt, we might not see the same exact thing. It rocks. So for those of you who already own it, back me up down in the comments. Tell me, you know, what you think. If you hate it, do that too. If you disagree with me and you think that you should buy some other outdoor power equipment brand and have a system that's sitting there, and then when that battery dies after so long, go out and invest $300 into a new large battery just so you have outdoor power equipment, great. I think that's wonderful. I'm gonna try to steer people at this point in time to tool brands, because a lot of people don't have the higher amp hour batteries and they have tools that need those higher amp hour batteries. And if you gather up outdoor power equipment and all of a sudden you end up with a 9 amp hour FlexVolt and you've not had a FlexVolt before, and you're like, I can throw this in my circular saw, I can throw it in other things and gain more power and have more satisfaction with the tools that I already own because I have a larger battery and I'm in the string trimmer. So it's so much of a bonus that we're actually getting good quality tools that you could throw an edger on and roll out and do. Now, I'm gonna try to get some more attachments to this. Obviously, they're coming slow at this point in time. I have zero doubt in my mind that this thing will rock an edger. I don't think we're gonna end up with cutouts. I think the only thing we're gonna end up with is going to be a shorter runtime if you're pushing this tool hard. That's it. And that's what we expect on most other tools, so why not expect it here and just go with it. So, as always, appreciate your time. Give me a like in this video if you would. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We have a lot more of this stuff coming out. Thanks again, guys. Have a great day.